Pawn G6 of Gukesh in SuperBet Romania Chess Classic 2024 Round Robin, round number 10! Hello my fellow chessers! I'm gonna show to you, my fellow chessers, the chess game between Fabiano Caruana and Gukesh in SuperBet Romania Chess Classic 2024 round number 10, round robin. This match is rapid mode, my fellow chessers, 10 minutes plus 5 seconds increment. So let's begin on C4, E5, D3, Knight F6, Knight F3, Knight C6, A3, A5, E3, G5, C takes G5, Knight takes D5, B3, Bishop D6. This is English opening, King's English variation, my fellow chessers. This is like reverse Sicilian, my fellow chessers, as you can see, okay? Reverse. So let's continue the game. Bishop B2, castles kingside, Knight B D2, Queen E7, Bishop E2, Knight B6, castles kingside, Bishop E6, Queen C2, Rook F D8, Rook F E1, F6, Knight E4 attacking the bishop on D6, Queen F7, Knight D2 or Knight F D2, Bishop F8, Rook A B1, Rook D7, Knight C5, attacking the rook on D7, at the same time attacking the bishop on E6, at the same time attacking the pawn on B7. So let's continue the game. Bishop takes C5, good move of Gukesh. Queen takes C5, Rook A D8, Rook Queen C2, Bishop F5, mistake of Gukesh. The best continuation on this position is Knight C8. Oh, okay. Let's continue the game. Bishop F5, Knight E4, good move of Fabiano Caruana. Bishop takes E4, D takes E4, Rook D2, attacking the queen on C2. Queen C1, Rook D6 or Rook D6, D2 D6, Bishop C3, King H8, H3, Queen E7, Queen C2, Queen E6, Rook E D1 or C1, Rook D8, A8, Bishop E1, Rook D6, Queen C5, Knight D7, Queen C2, Knight B6, Queen B2, H6, Rook C2, Knight C8, Bishop C4, attacking the queen on E6. Queen D7, Rook B C1, Knight E7, Bishop E2, C6, B4, A takes B4, Bishop takes B4, Queen C7, Rook D2, Rook takes D2, Queen takes D2, B6, Queen A2, mistake of Fabiano Caruana. The best continuation on this position is Bishop takes E7. Okay, Knight takes E7. So let's continue the game. Knight A2, C5, good move of Gukesh. Bishop E1, Knight D6, attacking the pawn on E4. Rook D1, Rook D8. Why Gukesh didn't take the pawn on E? For example, Knight takes E4. We have Knight Bishop F3 attacking the Knight on E4. At the same time, the Rook on A8. So you can see F5 is the solution. Bishop takes E4. F takes E4. We have Queen E6 preferring for Queen. Rook D7 attacking the Queen on C7. At the same time attacking the Knight on E6. That's why Gukesh didn't take the pawn on E4. So let's continue the game. Rook D1, Rook D8, F3, knight B7, rook B1, knight C8, A4, rook D6, bishop A6, knight G8, queen B3, king H8, H7, bishop C4, knight C6, bishop G5, knight E7, bishop E6, queen D8, bishop C4, knight C6, queen C2, knight E7, knight 8 E7, king H2, knight C8, queen B3, knight E7, knight 6 E7, A5 mistake of Fabiano Caruana. The best concentration on this position is H4, my fellow chessers. So let's continue the real game. A5, B takes A5, queen A3, knight B6, attacking the bishop on C4 as you can see. Bishop E2, knight D7 mistake of Gukesh. The best continuation on this position is A4. So let's continue the real game. Knight D7, bishop A5, attacking the queen on G8. So let's continue the game. Queen C8, bishop E1, knight C6, bishop C4, knight B4, bishop takes B4, rook B6, rook B3, c takes B4, rook takes B4, rook takes B4, queen takes B4, queen C5, attacking the pawn on E3. At the same time, attacking the queen on B4. So let's continue the game. Queen B3, defending the pawn on E3 as you can see. Queen D6 mistake of Gukesh. The best continuation on this position is knight F8, my fellow chessers. So let's continue the game. Queen D6, bishop E6 mistake or X of Fabiano Caruana. The best continuation on this position is queen B7, attack the knight on D7. Oh, so let's continue the game. Bishop E6, knight F8 mistake of Gukesh. The best continuation on this position is queen E7, my fellow chessers. So let's continue the game. Knight F8, bishop F5 check, king H8, queen F7, good move of Fabiano Caruana. Knight H7, bishop E6 mistake of Fabiano Caruana. The best continuation on this position is queen G6, threatening checkmate on H7. So let's continue the game. Bishop E6, queen F8, queen D7, knight G5, bishop G5, G6 mistake of Gukesh. The best continuation on this position is queen B8. Okay, so let's continue the game. G6, H4, attacking the knight on G5. Knight H7, bishop F7, queen G7, queen E8, knight F8, bishop takes G6, king G8, bishop F6, F5, queen C7, bishop E6, queen G6, G7, bishop G5, queen A7, attacking the pawn on E3. Okay, so let's continue the game. Queen D8, H5, queen E8, attacking the pawn on H5. Knight G6, queen E6, queen takes E3, queen F7, king H6, queen F6, queen takes F6, queen F4, queen takes F4, knight takes F4, G3, knight D3, king G2, king G6, king F1, knight B4, king E2, knight C2, F4, king F6, bishop C4, knight D4 check, king E3, knight C2, king F2, knight G4, bishop E2, attacking the pawn on H5, my fellow chessers, as you can see. King G6, F takes E5, knight C6, attacking the pawn on E5. e6, knight e7, king e3, knight c6, bishop b5, knight e7, bishop e8. Check, my fellow chessers. Gukesh resigned the game. Why? As you can see, if you continue the game, king h6 example, we have king d4, and as you can see, the pawn on e6, e4, g3, h4.